Hi, gang. So, I wanted to come and share with you all my experience. So, I actually used to go to therapy once upon a time, and I'm really, really interested in going back just because it was super therapeutic for me. And I realized in those moments that I'm a talker and that in order for me to actually process information, I need to be able to kind of like regurgitate my thoughts and have somebody like digest it and spit it back to me. And that's exactly what therapy was for me. So I definitely wanted to come and share that experience. So what we're gonna do before I start sharing is I'm definitely gonna light this sage. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Cause there's people everywhere. They all in my grill, okay? Why y'all all in my grill? Anyway, so let's go ahead and light this sage. And today is cloudy. I don't know if I want to be sunny or cloudy, so the sun is in and out. Set this down. Alright, so um once upon a time in my life, I decided to go back to school as an undergraduate, a second go round. I obtained my first bachelor's degree in biology with a minor in chemistry from Winston-Salem State, which is a historically black college, and it is located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Okay, so I did that, and it took me 5 years to get that degree, no lie, just because some of those classes were like ridiculously hard, and I really wanted to quit. Okay, I really wanted to just give up because in my life I don't necessarily have people that are there to push me academically, you know. So and on top of that, I was the first person in my family to go to college as far as like my generation. Like my cousins, of course, also went to college, but like for my parents and for my grandmother and her side of the family, like I was one of the first people to go to college, you know what I mean? So anyway, after I graduated with that degree, I realized like biology is a major that you study if you want to go into research or if you want to go into medical school, dental school. Like it's great background information for the healthcare field. However, I wasn't interested in any of those things. um, well, I was. I'll take that back. I actually ended up majoring in biology because I didn't get into Carolina's dental school. I wanted to go to dental school to be a dental hygienist. I did not want to be a dentist. I wanted to be a dental hygienist. And that didn't work out, so I decided to go to Winston-Salem State and study biology to prepare me to transfer, basically. And that never happened, okay? Because I was pissed. I was like, screw Carolina. I don't want to go there. Because I felt very prejudged, and I felt like if I did get chosen by them, it was only because they needed to meet their quota type of thing, not because they really wanted me as a student. Okay, and I say that because I did so much to get into this college just for them to send me a freaking rejection letter, and that was extremely heartbreaking. Like they had my hopes up thinking that I was really about to get into this school, and I didn't. So yeah, that murdered those dreams. I never transferred, and I just graduated with my biology degree and moved on. So when I graduated, I was lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was working at a bank, but only part-time, only 20 hours a week. Luckily, they had branches that needed help, so I was able to gain like extra hours outside of my 20 hours. However, they weren't guaranteed. So I was not making money. I ended up having to pick up a part-time job at Harris Teeter, which was so degrading to me. It was such a slap in my face, and it was devastating. I'm not gonna lie, I was super heartbroken. Like, wow, I just graduated from college and I fucking work at Harris Teeter as a cashier. Like, how grand is my life? So that moment kind of forced me to reevaluate what it was that I wanted to do in life. And I started to look into different programs and different majors, and maybe I didn't major in the right thing. At the time, I knew I was highly interested in fitness. I was very into my body. I really was into like nutrition, and I was really into looking good. You know what I mean? Not only that, but I have been smoking cannabis since I was probably about 22, 23. And I knew that I was growing a love for this plant that was beyond just getting high. I was growing a love for it because it was comforting to me, and not only that, but it helped awaken a part of me that I didn't know existed. I'm very connected with the universe and with my spirit guides and with God through cannabis. So I knew that I wanted to take it a step further. So what I ended up landing in is I found a nutrition program. And I was like, I started looking into being a dietitian and what it would take for me to become a dietitian. So then I started looking into programs, and I was comparing like the undergrad program to the graduate school. And the graduate program just seemed to be hella fast. Like they weren't really teaching you anything. They were basically just applying or testing what you had previously learned. And being an African American woman from, America, clearly I'm African American, but being a black woman from America, I wanted to make sure that whatever career I stepped into, that I was very knowledgeable of that field and I knew what I was talking about, because I'm going to be challenged and I want to be able to compete on an intellectual level, okay? So therefore, I was like, I'm going to skip the graduate program and do undergrad again. That way I can absorb all of the information from this program and then later apply it maybe in a graduate program, okay? So I enrolled at UNCG. I was super excited because they welcomed me with open arms. I'm pretty sure it's because I was an adult student. However, I was excited because I got a lot of scholarships for being a grown-ass student. Not only that, but majority of the time, like if I applied for scholarships within my department, I would be the only African American. So if they had like a minority scholarships, they would go to me because, hey, I'm the only one in the program. So there were perks to going to a predominantly white school. I will say that. No offense to my HBCUs, because if I have children, they will be going to HBCUs. I think what you should do is maybe get the HBCU experience in undergrad and then maybe go to graduate school at a predominantly white school so that you can benefit from being a minority, okay? But it had lots of perks, and one of the main perks that I want to discuss in this video, which took me 8 minutes to get to, it's all right, is the fact that they offer therapy sessions to their students at discounted rates. Now, I was taking a course, I cannot remember the name of the damn course at this moment, I cannot. But it was mandatory, but it was like an elective that was mandatory. And basically I think we had 2 or 3 options. We could either like interview somebody, I don't remember what exactly we were interviewing somebody about, but I decided not to do that. The second one was that you could voluntarily go to these therapy sessions. I think you had to go to at least 5, but the school offered 10 for free. So you get 10 therapy sessions for free because they had a graduate program where people are learning to be counselors and to be therapists, and therefore they had to get their hours in. So they would basically give them the opportunity to counsel their peers, and they would get hours, and then we would get credit for our course as well. Okay, and then I can't remember the third option, basically because I wasn't doing those. I can't remember the third option. Anyway, I chose to go with the therapy sessions. And the reason why is because I knew something was going on with me, okay? I turned all the way up the second time I went to graduate school. And I mean, like, I was smoking hella heavy. Hella heavy. I will never forget, like, dude, I used to smoke not quarters, eighths a day, like 4, 5, and 6 blunts a day, like just rolling them back to back to back, smoking them like chain cigarettes. Not only that, I would go and get plastered drunk, like blackout drunk with my friends. I would hang around people that I ain't have no fucking business hanging around. Just all kind of shit. I knew something was internally going on with me. So I was like, I want to go to therapy. And I'm going to be open and honest with them. And I'm just going to allow them to use me as a little subject. I'm going to sign all the paperwork and let them use my videos in their classes. Like, I'm going to get therapy from this. My therapist is going to get her hours from this, and then I'm going to help a class by allowing them to dissect the information that I'm sharing in my sessions, okay? So I was thrilled because I'm a humanitarian. I absolutely love doing things that are going to help others. I was excited about this opportunity. Not only that, they paired me with a Black counselor, and I cannot remember her full name. I know her name was Tiffany. I don't know her last name. But Tiffany was absolutely amazing, and God bless her in her journey to being a therapist, because I know she's going to be a great therapist for somebody. She was amazing for me, and I know she's going to be great for someone else. So even after my 10 sessions were up, I used to go twice a week when I was doing the 10 sessions. And then once the 10 sessions were up, I would go once every other week. I'm not gonna lie, going without the therapy was torture. And like I said, it was therapeutic for me. It really helped me. It really helped me see outside of my own brain, because in my family we had a lot of issues that needed to be handled, and I just had nobody to talk to, no outlet to go to. I remember sharing a dream with her that I had that was so devastating to me, and it was scary and it was confusing. And what the dream boiled down to is it was trying to bring my attention to the fact that I had suppressed hatred for my mother. And I know that's outlandish to a lot of people, because y'all might not understand the relationship between an abandoned child and a emotionally unavailable mother. But I grew up with 2 narcissistic parents, which I've talked about many times in my video diaries and so forth. And I struggled growing up because I could never understand, how does a mother not love her own child? I felt so hated by this woman, and in turn it created hate inside of me. Probably around, like, once I started getting into the upper teenage years, I just started to hate her at guts. And I knew it was wrong, or I felt like it was wrong, because you're not supposed to hate your mother, you know? So what I did was I would suppress it, and I would just force myself to deal with her, force myself to be in her presence, and just force myself to accept the fact that this person is the way they are. There's nothing I can do about it, and just deal with it. But that was eating me up inside. It was definitely ruining my relationships with other people. Not only that, but it was causing me to make very poor decisions when it came to dating, when it came to choosing who I hung out with, what kind of things that I put inside of my body, all type of shit. Like, I wasn't a crackhead. I didn't do coke or no hard shit. But I've had some fun, you know what I mean? I've done some things that I probably shouldn't have been doing. Now, at first, my relationship with cannabis didn't start off healthy. It was very unhealthy. I did enjoy the fellowship that it created. I enjoyed the relationships that I gained from being a cannabis lover, but a lot of those relationships were shallow, okay? A lot of those relationships put me in very bad situations and very bad spots. A lot of those relationships were deceiving. A lot of these people didn't even fucking like me. They hated me. You know what I'm saying? So, all I used to binge smoke, binge eat. Oh God, and the binge eating was crazy, crazy. Like I went one point where I would eat everything in the damn refrigerator because I never got full when I was high, and I loved that. I loved it. So, you know, I had a very unhealthy relationship with cannabis at one point, and it stemmed from me trying to run away from the pain that I felt from the disconnect that I had with my parents. Okay, my father, who definitely sacrificed a lot of his life to raise me, had his issues too. You know, he's narcissistic as well, and he's emotionally unavailable as well. So I never had anyone to cater to my emotions as a child, as a teenager. I never had like the parental support that I wanted as a child, and therapy helped me work through a lot of that. It helped me to uncover the possible reasons why my mother, as well as her brother, have such horrible, fragile relationships with their own children, their offspring, people that they brought into this earth. They have no fucking connection to, and it was very disturbing to me. But therapy helped me bring it all together and realize that people go through shit as children, they go through shit as teenagers, they go through traumatic experiences that cause them to behave in the way that they behave as adults. A lot of people are stuck in the age that they were in when they went through traumatic experiences, and they grow in number, in years, but mentally they never evolve, they never mature. Not only that, but everything that I was going through in the moment, therapy was the time for me to sit down and unpack it. And kind of just release all of the pent up negative energy that I had bottled inside of me all week long, that I tried to smoke away, but it would never vanish. I tried to drink it away, that shit would never go away. Tried to fuck it away, it would never go away. I literally would give my body to men who didn't deserve it. Just to fill a void, just to feel, period, just to feel wanted, to feel love. And it was sad, it was pathetic. I allowed so many men to take advantage of me, and thanks to therapy, it woke me up. Yes, I still had a few relationships after that were kind of fucked up, but therapy helped me realize that I was better than how I was treating myself, and that self-love is very important. Self-love is very important. You should definitely teach it to your children, because there are going to be people that don't love themselves, and hurt people. Hurt people are very damaging, and hurt people would do anything to bring happy people down to their level. So you want to teach your children to always love themselves, always, always shower yourself with self-love, because you are amazing the way you are. God loves you, and he made you just the way you are. Always embrace that. Never allow anyone to change your mind about who you are, because you're great. It is them who they don't like. They are projecting their negative self-image onto you because they're not happy with where they are in life. Ignore that, okay? I desperately, it's cold, y'all, so I'm kind of like moving around. I desperately want my parents to go to therapy, because they have some deep-rooted childhood pain that they are hoarding still in their 50s. and it affects our relationship, and it affects their relationships with every single person. My dad is so fucking bitter and nasty and mean and cold. Everything that you hear white supremacists say about black people, he is absorbed and he lives that. He feels it about himself and he feels it about the world. It's so sad, and I want him to go to therapy so he can unpack that shit. Because all of that shit that they taught him as a cop, that they taught him in the military, that they taught him through abuse, is fucking false. It's a lie, and it's not fucking true. It's not who you are. You're more than that. And I want him to wake up before he dies and realize that he is more than that negative bullshit. My mother, I want her to go to therapy because I feel like somebody in her life fucking touched her. Somebody assaulted my mother sexually, emotionally, and verbally, physically, however, and that shit has ruined her. There's something inside of her that she needs to get out, and she needs to heal, and I want her to go to therapy and let that shit out. Because until she does that, she will never feel enough love to genuinely connect with me. I've never felt like my mother loved me. I've always felt like this woman hated my fucking guts, and if she could kill me, she would. Now, my grandfather always says she could have fleshed you. And honestly, yeah, she could have. In my opinion, she should have if she didn't want me. Okay, because at the end of the day, giving birth to a child and abandoning them and neglecting them and having them grow up with this type of pain is fucked up on your behalf. If you didn't want a child, you didn't have to have it. You could have let somebody adopt me. You could have did anything, but you did not have to force me to deal with your misery because you made a decision that you didn't want to make. Who the fuck calling? Fucking scammers. Go away. Anyway, so I feel like after they go to therapy and deal with their shit, we all can come together and mend this parental shit. But until then, I'm done. But I'm getting ready to move to Wakanda, where I will have access to black therapists and black counselors, and I'm definitely going to reach out and find me somebody. I don't give a damn what it costs, because honestly, I have a business now and I can write that off on my business taxes. I'm getting health insurance for me, and I'm going to provide my staff with great health insurance because we need this outlet. One of my business prospects is I am going to open a mental health spa. And something that is very important for this mental health spa is that we have therapists and we have counselors that we can trust with our deepest, darkest secrets, okay? So I'm definitely going to get back on the therapy bandwagon, and I want more and more people to begin to embrace this process. It's not an easy process, but it feels so amazing when you finally let up all this burden and anger and pain and rage and trauma. When you let that shit off and you get it off your back, you feel so much better, I promise you. You know, they call them bag ladies. Drop some of them fucking bags off. Drop some of that luggage off, okay? It's time to start unpacking and stuff so that we can heal as black people and we can begin to rise. Our fucking superpowers have been unlocked, okay? Our curse has been lifted, y'all. It's time for us to rise above. We have a new set of government coming in, and it's time for us to embrace who we are, okay? So therapy is definitely a way of doing that, just so that you can unpack some of the trauma that you've been through, the pain and burden that we carry every day. I definitely need therapy after this week. After living in San Jose, California for 2 years, I need therapy. I've never in my life imagined that so many fucking people can be brainwashed into believing that black people are these evil, dirty, nasty people, okay? From being treated like a fucking criminal every single day, from being stared at, from being isolated, from being singled out, from being mistreated just for being black. I need somebody I need to go and unpack all of this negative bullshit with, because my mind is blown. Like, it is sickening, y'all. Like, it's sick. I never knew that racism and hatred for black people was this deep, and it breaks my heart. So I definitely need to get into a safe environment where I can unpack these feelings, and where my therapist can feel my pain and kind of help me work through that, okay? So this is why therapy is very important for all of us, because we all go through trauma, and a lot of times we don't unpack it. We just carry it throughout our lives, and it affects our relationships with everything, okay, including ourselves. So let's relieve that from ourselves, and let's become our best selves by going to get some therapy and starting to unpack the trauma that we've been through. So thank you so much. You hear this song? You're one in a million. Okay, this is my song. Ooh, 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 be killing on. We do. Hey. All right. Bye. Have a good one. I keep talking in this like I'm on here. Anyway, bye. Have a good day.